If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the in the description. Venezuela's chief prosecutor condemns Bukel's cynical prisoner exchange proposal. A human rights crisis unfolds. The simmering tensions between Venezuela and El Salvador have erupted into a full-blown diplomatic crisis, ignited by a controversial prisoner exchange proposal from El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele that has been met with fierce condemnation from Venezuelan authorities. Bukele's offer, pitched as a swap of Venezuelan political prisoners for over 200 Venezuelan nationals detained in El Salvador, has been branded as cynical and a blatant disregard for human rights by Venezuela's chief prosecutor, Tarek William Saab. Saab's scathing rebuke, issued in a strongly worded statement, paints a stark picture of alleged human rights abuses inflicted upon Venezuelan citizens within El Salvador's borders. The proposal, which involves the release of prominent Venezuelan figures like journalist Roland Carreño, human rights lawyer Rocio San Miguel, and Corina Peresca de Machado, mother of opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, in exchange for the 252 Venezuelans detained in El Salvador, is deemed unacceptable by the Venezuelan government. Saab vehemently rejected the premise of the deal, demanding answers regarding the due process afforded to the detained Venezuelans. He poses critical questions regarding the legal basis for their detention. What specific crimes are these individuals accused of? Have they been afforded the right to legal representation? Have they had access to due process, including appearances before a judge? Most importantly, have these detainees been allowed contact with their families? The lack of clarity surrounding these fundamental rights, according to Saab, constitutes a significant breach of international human rights law. The Venezuelan government's statement goes further, accusing Bukele of operating within a neo-fascist framework. This strongly worded accusation underscores the depth of the animosity between the two nations and highlights the Venezuelan government's perception of Bukele's actions as part of a broader, politically motivated campaign. The statement explicitly alleges that the treatment of Venezuelans in both the United States and El Salvador constitutes not only a violation of international human rights law, but also a crime against humanity. This grave accusation adds a layer of urgency and severity to the ongoing dispute, demanding international scrutiny and potential intervention. The crux of this crisis lies in the context of the mass deportation of Venezuelan nationals from the United States to El Salvador. In March, the Trump administration deported at least 200 Venezuelans to El Salvador, labeling them members of the notorious Tren de Aragua criminal gang. This action has been accompanied by a significant financial contribution from the U.S. government to El Salvador, providing $6 million to house these deportees in Secot, El Salvador's high-security terrorism confinement center. The opaque nature of these deportations and their subsequent confinement raise serious concerns about the potential for abuse and the lack of transparency surrounding the legal processes involved. The deployment of Secot, a facility designed for terrorism suspects, for individuals accused of gang affiliation, suggests an escalation of punitive measures, highlighting the severity of the situation for the deported Venezuelans. Adding another layer of complexity is a recent Supreme Court decision in the United States. On Saturday, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a temporary injunction, blocking the Trump administration's attempt to deport another group of Venezuelan migrants under a rarely used wartime law. This stay, issued in response to an emergency request from the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, underscores the legal and ethical ambiguities surrounding the deportation policy. The Trump administration's subsequent attempt to overturn the injunction reflects a firm commitment to its hardline immigration stance, yet the court's intervention demonstrates a crucial counterbalance to these policies. The ongoing legal battle in the U.S., coupled with Bukele's controversial prisoner exchange proposal, highlights the multifaceted nature of the crisis. It's a crisis not merely confined to a prisoner exchange between two nations. It is a reflection of larger issues surrounding human rights, international law, immigration policies, and the delicate balance of power in the Americas. The accusations of human rights violations against Venezuelan citizens and the potential for further abuses necessitate immediate international attention and a concerted effort to ensure the protection of the rights of all affected individuals. The Venezuelan government's unwavering stance against Bukel's proposal serves as a clear indicator of the seriousness of this issue and the need for a swift and just resolution. The international community must now critically examine the situation and actively work towards a resolution that upholds the fundamental human rights of all those involved. The future of these detained Venezuelans and the broader implications for regional stability hang in the balance.